Tabitha, name me 3 important rivers in the ancient world.
Tigris, Euphrates, Nile.
Tigris, Euphrates, and Nile. Very good. And what did they build in the country that has the Nile River? They built big, tall stone, and then they buried something in them.
Kings.
They buried kings in them. What did they build? Pyramids. Very good. Okay. Alright, Caden, the first cities happened where?
By rivers.
By rivers. Why by rivers?
So they could water their food.
Water their food, because they had developed, they weren't just hunters and gatherers anymore, they now had
Or agriculture.
Agriculture. You almost said horticulture. What's horticulture?
Running around and taking care of wild plants.
That's right. Very good. Alright. Brandon. There's an ancient city where a king put a big rock in the middle of the city, and then he put stones in the temples and stuff like that with something on them. Who was he? What was the city? What was on the stones?
Okay. Hammurabi was the king of Babylon. He put a big old stone in the middle of the city with the laws. Then he put stones in the temple.
Very good. It was in Babylon, you said, right? So what else did Hammurabi do? He made laws, and now we call it Hammurabi's Code. What else did he do? Anything else important that he did? With his army, maybe?
He destroyed a city, I can't remember what it's called.
He destroyed some really mean people. Remember the mean people?
I remember that, I just can't remember the name.
Can't remember the name? What if I tell you their capital city? Would that help, you think? Cumin, what's their capital?
Nineveh.
Nineveh. Do you remember who it is now? Tell us, Cumin, who was it?
The Assyrians.
The Assyrians. Very good. Alright. For you, Daniel. King Philip, the king of
Macedonia.
That's right. Had a son named
Alexander the Great.
Very good. And Alexander had a teacher named
Aristotle.
Right. Who was from
Macedonia.
Right, but lived most of his life in
Athens.
Very good. Now when Alexander took over Athens later on, Aristotle's books were moved to another city. What city were they moved to?
Alexandria.
Alexandria. What did they do with Aristotle's books there?
They made another school at Alexandria.
Very good. Do you remember any important people who studied at that school?
Let's see. King Philip?
No, he couldn't have studied there because he was dead a long time before.
Okay,
Brandon?
It was Archimedes.
Archimedes, very good. Cumin.
Yes.
About the wars we were talking about yesterday where Persia attacked.
Yes.
Persia really didn't know about Athens. Athens just this little squirt community over there on the edge. So how did they get in trouble with Persia? How did Athens get in trouble with Persia?
Because the Ionian Islands, the Ionian people wanted to take them back, and so they went to Athens and asked for help, and Athens sent 20 ships over there to take them back, and they did, and then Persia got really mad at the Greeks, especially Athens, and they went on their boats to a town called Marathon on Greece, and the Athenians went to fight them up there, and they had a plan to use their cavalry on their ship and go sail back to Athens, but the Persians from the Ionian Islands that were saved by the Athenians told them their secret, so the Athenians knew, So that's how they won. They put a bunch of
That's how they got in
people-
trouble with Persia.
Yeah.
That was the question, right? How Athens got in trouble with Persia.
Yeah.
And then Persia attacked them at Marathon, and the Athenians won and drove them off. And then later, the Persians just decided never to attack them again?
No. 9 years later, they gathered an army of 150,000.
Right.
And their boats were bringing food, so the Athenians got on their boats and went to a small island and led the Persians there, and then the Athenians were in a battle line, and they started backing up into a little shore, then they started going forward. They had bronze tips on the front, so they smashed into the
Very good. What were
Persians.
those boats called that they were in? Special boats, the Greeks.
Triremes.
Triremes, very good. Athens had a very good, and Sparta had a very good. What? Tell me about Athens first. They had a really good. No, that was Sparta. Okay, how about, can you tell me, where did King Philip go to find the smartest teacher he could for his son, Alexander? He went to find the smartest, best teacher that he could find. What city did he go to? City with all the smart teachers and...
Athens.
Athens, very good. Okay. The Persians came and destroyed Athens. And at that same time, there was the battle at Salamis, right, that destroyed the Persian navy, so they had to leave. Did all the Persians leave? Tell me what happened after that.
All the Persians didn't leave. They took over Athens, and then the Greeks sent a trick message to the king of Persia, or
Yeah, I forgot that.
and they said, we're gonna send all of our boats over at midnight to sink all your ships. So Athens sailed around into a narrow harbor thing, and then they came and surrounded them, and then they started backing up, and then they started going forward, and then right when they got really close to the shore, they went really fast and took down like most of the Persians.
Who was watching?
The king of Persia up on the brow of the hill.
On the brow of the hill, as that poem by Byron says, huh? Alright, very good, and
But he got one part wrong.
then, well, we're going to get to the next part that I want him to tell me about. So then, they destroyed the Persian navy in that battle, so most of the Persians had to leave. Some of them stayed, though. What happened to the ones who stayed up above Athens there, that camped out up above?
They were taken over about a year later by the Greeks again.
Yeah.
And they had no ships to get in the water and go back to I can't remember, but they just killed them all, and some...
All of them except like the commander and his
Yeah.
guys got away, right?
Yeah.
Is that true? The commander got away?
They
It's
didn't.
not true? They didn't get, the commander
Nope.
didn't get away?
Nobody
What
got
happened to the
away.
commander?
He died.
He died too, huh? That's right. Alright.
Slaughtered by the Spartans.
Anybody remember the commander's name that was left behind by the king of Persia? Daniel?
Xerxes?
No, that was the Persian king. You remember?
Starts with the name.
Mardonius.
Oh, God.
Mardonius.
I can't remember that.
I didn't make you write it down or anything, so.
There's one wrong thing on Caden's.
What was the wrong thing?
The trick message said that the Greeks were running. The Athenians were running
right.
away at night.